Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. What's going on, YouTube? You got a good one going on tonight. So we got tonight we're going to be going over the Bronx. The original plan was going to be the LC80, but some things changed, and we're going to do the Bronx tonight instead, since we're going to be giving it away anyways. And I just feel like that's going to be a better route, since I got to do a little more research on the LC80 before I do a video for you guys on that one. Let's hit up the roll call, see who we got in the chat tonight. We got Jeff Walters, of course, here. Chris Gerwitz. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Owen Rogers. Super One-Handed. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Midnight 86. You're new. Haven't seen you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Christina Nadine. Hey, Christina, how you doing? Okay. So, I'm going to go over, before I go over the trucks, I'm going to go over a little history with FMS, because I was talking to them the other night, and I was telling them that we don't, over here in the U.S., we don't really know a ton about the actual company, FMS. We just know about their trucks, and we know that they're from China. That's pretty much all we know about them. So I reached out to them and asked them to give me a little information about the company, so I could kind of share it with you guys, so you guys can get a little bit better idea of them. It's a little mixture. I'm going to try and remember as much as I can, and being as accurate as possible, because some of it is from when I talked to the representative at the Gauntlet, and some of it is from my contacts at FMS. So FMS originally actually was a company that designed every airport you go to in the country, all around the world. Each airline has a die-cast model of like their 747 or something on display. It's a very detailed model, and they're very expensive. That is how FMS originated. They began making those they're the only company that did it too, actually, for worldwide. So they are known worldwide, for making those. And from there, they decided to dip into model airplanes in 2007. Yeah, it was model airplanes, and then they started beginning the car market in 2018. That's when they basically independently started making remote control cars. I think they might have partnered with some other companies maybe before that. Maybe that's where EasyRC came from originally. I'm not sure. But they initially just began as like kind of like a research company for RC airplanes, and then the owner, Mr. Ho, wanted to start doing airplanes, and then the son, Leo Ho, is the CEO, and he really wanted to get into making cars, detailed cars, and drivable models, basically, which are the first kind of lines. And then I feel like he's the driving force that we're seeing behind like this new FCX 24 series and the FCX 18 series. I feel like Leo is probably the driving force behind that. He seems, from the people I've talked to that know him, seems like he is like a very dedicated person to the RC industry. He wants to make like very good products for us, with a lot of research going into them. So, yeah, I thought I'd give you guys just a little bit of history about them. And they did say that they have some excellent products that are going to be launching in 2024. Wouldn't really give me any hints, but they said they have some really excellent products that'll be coming out in 2024. Thanks, Midnight. So yeah, that gives you guys a little history about them. They're not like, some off-brand Chinese company out there, making just some junk that kind of looks good that performs like crap. They're in it to give us some good product, and they're in it to listen to us. I mean, they're always at, like, when they sent me the lemur, they wanted to know what I thought of it, what they could fix, what they could change. So they want to hear from us, which is great. And then they listen. Like, we're seeing with the K10, well, supposedly the K10 getting revamped, but the LC80, that was awesome, awesome. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us. So okay, we're gonna move on to the Bronx. That is an easy RC product, and it is pretty much one of the few easy RC products that didn't get an FMS launch, which is kind of weird. It because it was a really, really beautiful truck. It just got an easy RC launch, like where the K10 got a Glacier launch and um, a Rock Hobby launch. So it was very strange that it didn't get a full launch. It I bought it when it was originally released, and it had a little bit of jumpy electronics. I mean, the suspension was pretty good, and the interior, it has full interior, which is, it was just a weird kind of release for them, because usually the Easy RC products don't come with an interior. Like, I have the Easy RC FJ Cruiser, and I have the FMS version of it. And the Easy RC version is just stripped down, 5-wire servo, no interior. Lights come on when you give it grad gas, and when you let off, they shut off. Where the FJ Cruiser FMS version, the yellow one, excellent electronics, like 5 different modes for the lights. You can turn the turn signals off. Has a dedicated crawl mode. Just really good rig. So it was weird to see the Bronx come with interior and looking so good, so good. Now, I did take this one that we're giving away out, and I did test it, and I almost feel like they've updated the electronics in it or something, because it felt much, much smoother when I tested it on the carpet inside, because I did want to make sure I wasn't going to give away a piece of junk, and it was broken or something from getting shipped. But it did feel like it had smoother electronics, and I don't know, maybe they updated it. It's possible. But I will pull up a picture here. It was one of the better pictures that I could try and get to give you guys a comparison. There's the TRX4M Bronco and the EZRC Bronx. And I'll give you guys a little comparison on the specs here. So for the TRX4M, for length, we're looking at, and that is end-to-end length, we're looking at 262 millimeters. For the Bronx, we're looking at 279. So you're getting a little bit longer vehicle with the Bronx. And I would say, honestly, that I've driven both the TRX4M and the EZRC Bronx stock. And with the stock gears in TRX4M, I'd say it's very comparable to the Bronx as far as throttle control and, throttle modulation and all that. The TRX4M, you're getting your better shocks and a bigger motor and stuff like that, but you're paying a lot more for that. You're usually able to pick up a Bronx for $99 usually, and you get 2 color choices, the yellow or the gray, and they're both metal flake, beautiful, beautiful paint. Well, they're molded plastic, but the mold only goes like so deep, and then it's black. So let me go over some more specs here with you guys. So for ground clearance on the TRX4M, we're looking at 29 millimeters. This is impressive here. We're looking at 29 millimeters ground clearance with the TRX4M. And we're looking at 35 millimeters ground clearance on the Bronx. So you're getting a longer wheelbase, and you're getting a higher ground clearance with it. So it's a solid platform for upgrading. It is the version 1 tires of like what the LC80 has. So they're the harder not plastic, harder rubber compound. They're just not as good as the new LC80 tires whatsoever. The suspension is good. It's friction suspension, so it's bouncy because it's a hard body, and it does sit high, with that ground clearance. So you're gonna obviously get some wobble. Let me see some of those pictures that I had going behind me there. Let me see if I can get them play. That is my upgraded version, which you are able to, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. You are able to just ditch the electronics, which are under the hood. Very easy to get to. They're just held on by like some double-sided tape. You can pop those right out, and a axial V2 will fit right in there, with plenty of room to put a axial battery in there with it under the hood and shut it just with no problem whatsoever. It slides in very good. I'll show you guys on mine. But you can really get a lot of parts to make it very, very comparable to the TRX-4M. Very comparable to the TRX-4M. Let me see if I can. So, and I will slide myself out of the way so you guys can get a better picture of me here. So that is mine right there, which has oil shocks on it. You can get the, I believe they're the RC 4-wheel drive, or maybe they're the RC all-wheel drive. One of the two. I guess I should do my research. One of those two you can get on Amazon very cheap, and they seem to be holding up well. I've had them on there for at least a year. So, and then you got so I put some Endura rims on here and some Endura Crawlmaster. Yep, real nice soft Crawlmasters on there. Real sticky and soft. They're great tires on the Bronx. Boy, did they make it go. And I mean, it's pretty scale. Unfortunately, your doors do not open like a lot of the newer FMS trucks. Your tailgate does not open. But spare tire, roof rack, opening hood at least. And I will give you guys a little peek here. Oh, I guess I should have planned for this a little bit better. There we go. You can see axial V2 fits in there real nice and right tight. It's not even glued in or anything with any kind of double-sided tape, so you can pop it right out. It's the servo that holds it in. And I put a ramp crab servo in this. It was basically a direct fit. And let me see if I can get a battery in here. The turning radius on this truck is absolutely astounding once you change out the servo. And I recommend the ramp crab. The only downside I've come across with these ramp crabs is they tend to want to start to jiggle on you when you pick them up. It doesn't do it when it sits on the ground. And normally with like a Emax, when it starts doing that for me, I'm like, oh well, it's about to go out on me. Where these ones, I've had it in there for a year, and it just jiggles. It just jiggles. Okay. So, yeah, look at that turning radius, guys. Look at that turning radius. Wow. But there's your jiggle. But that's impressive. That is very impressive. There's our little so you get really good flex with those shocks too. These rear ones really. I mean, they fit, those crawler masters fit right up in the wheel wells. Really good, really good. Cargo, I had one do that, but I changed it in the ESC. I stopped. Yeah, I almost think it's not the servo crawler. Because the ESC has been very funky the entire time. This axial V2 that I put in there has been very funky the entire time. It acts up on me a lot, and I really think that I'm just going to pull it out. And you can go on Fair RC, and for a reasonable price, you can get their ESC and remote combo pretty darn cheap, and it'll fit right in here with no problem, without, better than this V2 will. And I can go back to using the 600 milliamp batteries. That is another very nice thing about this Bronx, is you can run the 600 milliamp version of the FMS batteries in it. It gives you a little extra front weight, so you can really do some climbing. But out of the box, it's more of a trails truck. Yeah. It looks really good if you put a driver in there. Oh, yeah. I forgot about, I was going to go over that too. And then we'll go ahead and pop this one open for you guys. It's the giveaway one. If we can ever hit 500, guys, we're getting close. We're getting real close. Boy, look at that. Look at that shiny bad boy right there. That's going home to one of you guys. So it does sit actually a little bit higher, actually. Yeah. With the stock suspension. So yeah, you got quite a bit of clearance under there. Almost, you got more than 2 fingers for me. And then let's go ahead and get this out of here for you guys. Let's do a little comparison here. So yeah, with the stock suspension, it's kind of pulling that off, but you guys can't really see it. It is trying to 3-wheel just a little bit. Thanks, Christina. So yeah, it is 3-wheel. So you are going to be better off to switch to these. You're going to lose a little bit of that clearance, but like I said, when you're looking at what did I say it was, 35 millimeters clearance versus the 29 of the TRX form, you can afford to lose a little bit to avoid those rollovers. Now, like I said, I have had this since release. I bought this on release, and the only really scratches I've got are a couple up here, which you can barely see because it was molded so well. And I did get one extremely bad scratch that you guys, you can kind of see it on the hood. But other than that, the body is extremely durable, very, very durable body. Haven't broken any plastic drive shafts, anything like that. I did. This does come with plastic diff gears, but from FMS's website for like $10, I think you can get the metal ones for it. And their shipping has greatly improved. You can get, you can usually get them in 3 to 5 days now, versus 10 to 15 days that it was before. So they're really trying to make a name for themselves, and I'm buying what they're selling. So yeah, these rims that I put on here are just some Enduras, just cheap ones, but I put some wheel weights on there with it, and that improved it. But then, which I'll do on a later episode because I didn't get the measurements together. I'll show you guys how to put the TRX 4M wheel wideners on there. You can get the, what are they? They're like plus 10 brass wheel wideners. And you have to grind them a little bit to make them fit on here. And then the TRX 4M barrel nuts will fit these larger diameter shafts of the Bronx because they're wider. They're larger diameter shaft for the wheel than the SCX 24s. Yep. And that was a big holdback on people being able to upgrade these for the longest time was the fact that the shaft was bigger than the SX 24. So it was really limiting, your starting point. Usually the first things you do on your truck is get yourself a new set of rims and tires and some wideners or something or some wheel weights, Well, you basically couldn't do that. So once the TRX 4M came out and it ran the same size barrel nut as these, opened up a whole new world for upgrades for this truck. And then a few of the other companies jumped on board. Like I said, you can get the RC 4-wheel drive, or I believe both actually, RC 4-wheel drive and all-wheel drive oil shocks for this, and it really lowers it down, and it just has a great scale look. It comes with the yellowish lights on them, and they do come on, typical Easy RC, they do come on when you hit the throttle and let go of the throttle. And it does have reverse lights when you hit reverse, but they don't stay on. But it is very easy to change them out with some 3mm lights. I put the bright white ones in mine, and I put some taillights in there that stay on all the time. So it's a real looker when it's online or when it's out at night. So I would definitely. Oh, and I also changed out the motor and transmission gears to metal ones. They are plastic transmission gears, your plastic links and everything. Like I said, it's the Easy RC version, so everything is going to be plastic inside. They just gave us a really good body and interior this time with it, and no branding whatsoever, which was a little disappointing. I was really hoping to see an FMS version of this come out, and I really hope we see an FCX 18 revamped version of this with the 2.2 tires or 2.5 tires and oil shocks, stock, sitting up nice and tall. But we'll see. We'll see. On the LC80 note, I did try to get some information on the release for the trailer and interior for the LC80 and find out if the little scale accessories they had in their commercial were going to be getting released soon. But I haven't heard back from them. And the other reason I wanted to hold off on the LC80 episode was, well, one, my guest just was sick. And two, when I was talking to FMS the other night, they said they were going to send me some swag to give to you guys. So I'm super stoked about that. We're going to have some sweatshirts to give out, some FMS sweatshirts to give out, some hats to give out, some T-shirts, some keychains. And the big thing that I'm super stoked about, guys, is they're sending me some FMS LC80 T-shirts, which I don't know how many of those are going to be, but I'm super stoked about getting those ones to give to you guys. I asked them to send me the largest sizes they had, just because everything they have runs Chinese size, but we'll see. There's a few females out there that may be able to wear the smaller sizes, and the hats I know fit all because they I have a few of them, and yeah, they fit my buddy Owen, who's a bigger guy, and they fit me, who's a medium-sized guy. So yeah. So I'm super stoked to be able to give you guys out some swag. Maybe we'll do some like RC trivia questions or something, and and give you guys away some stuff that way. But yeah, I'm super stoked, and I'm super appreciative that they were so willing to send me some stuff like that. And yeah, they're super cool. They're a really good company to work with. um, so let me kind of, yeah, we'll hit some chat up here. Let me kind of get back here, and I'll hit the chat and Q&A here. Hey, we got Rock Wolf in the house. What's going on, Jim? We got Osborne. Nice. Better late than never. Crawling Chris. And Cardboard Crawlers. Awesome. Glad to see you, buddy. So, got to make it the questions so we can win. Yeah, the questions will be pretty easy, guys. And I may base them around whatever truck we're doing that evening or something. Maybe we'll do something like that, like what year was the Bronco, and first year Bronco released or something like that, yeah, maybe we'll try something like that. See, got a Fair RC mystery box coming. Can't wait to see. That's awesome, Crawl and Chris. Fair RC is the spot to get your discounted vehicles, man. I love buying my trucks through FMS like whenever I can, but you can't beat Fair RC's deals. You just cannot beat their deals. They're buy one get one frees. They're mystery boxes. And I know Owen Rogers. He has a mystery box coming today, the Fair RC 10th scale mystery box, and we were anticipating it to be Michigan, as right now, if you buy the 10th scale Michigan or 10th scale mystery box in Fair RC right now, guys, it's more than likely going to be a Michigan. So get them while you can, because they cannot sell them anymore, and they have a ton of them, so they're just trying to get rid of them. But it's kind of sounding like Owen may be getting an FJ40 in his mystery box because of the weight of it. I want to say my FJ40 weighed around 14, 15 pounds for shipping, and that's right on what his package was weighing today. And the Michigan weighs about 12 pounds. Oh, it's not coming today, Owen said. That's very disappointing. That is very disappointing. Okay, what did you mentioned? ESC remote combo from Fair RC Cardboard Crawlers. You can get the FMS ESCs and remotes from Fair RC. Let me see if I can maybe pull that up. And it's like, why not? Because the FMS receivers and ESCs are just so smooth. Yeah, so smooth. If you guys haven't popped over to my community in the last few days, you should pop over there real quick. I got a couple of polls going, and we can kind of go over those real quick and see what you guys think about those polls. What the current status of those are. So let me see here. Yes. Um, hmm. Well, if you go to Pharisee, you can find their ESCs in their products. I think it's under their parts section. Let me skip over here to my channel so I can go to my community section here and see what the votes are looking at on those. Okay, so first one was what's your RC truck style? Sorry, guys. Yeah, what's your RC truck style? Power and performance, scaling and trailing, or a little of both? Which you guys really surprised me on this one because I was totally expecting you guys to everybody to vote power and performance, baby. That's my that's my ride. But you guys, a little bit of both. 71% of you guys. Scaling and trailing was only 12%. That's where I fall into basically is the scaling category. Um, I mean, I love to crawl, don't get me wrong, but I love a scale rig and just going out with my friends, trailing, having a good time. Yeah, just love it. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me get some live feedback from you guys. But what do you like? Do you prefer performance and power and or do you prefer scaling and looking as real as possible, or you guys like a little bit of both? Uh, uh, then our other poll was, which do you prefer? Another one that you guys really surprised me on. I really was surprised by your guys' answers on these. Um, I the choices were the RTR, the kit truck, or build it yourself, 3D print, something like that. 67% of you guys would rather just buy an RTR, you lazy fuckers. I mean, what happened to build it yourself? I know Jim's a build it himself guy. Chris, he's a trailing and scale. That's right, buddy. That's where I am at. Cardboard crawlers, crawl. Rockwool scale and performance. Yeah, look, yeah. So, RTR. Really, Owen? You're an RTR? Yeah, you are pretty lazy. Kit builds are the best, Chris. They definitely are the best. You're gonna plus you're when you do the kit build, you're ensuring everything is done correctly yourself. You're making sure everything's greased. You're double checking all the nuts. You're Loctiting everything that needs to be Loctited. Where an RTR, you're relying on somebody in a factory that's doing this, hundreds of times a day. That's right. Rock Wolf got to have a driver. Oh, and thank you for reminding me, Rock Wolf. I'm gonna pull this back up here. Get these out of the way. Get my flexor out of the way here. So, if you are a scaler like myself, and you like to make sure your rigs look as real as possible, you can pick up for 18th scales from Brooder is the company, and you can pick them up on Amazon. But here, let me move myself again. I should have known I was going to come back to the screen. Okay, so I guess I'll bring them by one at a time here. So yeah, Brooder Toys on Amazon, 18th scale. They have pretty good articulation. Their arms move, up and down. You can twist them left and right, and but they usually come with some sort of accessory with them. This guy, it's kind of hard to see, but he's got some sunglasses on and a bike helmet that he can take off. And he's got a little shirt on. It says Brooder. But the really thing that I like is this bike. I've got the female figure of this that came with the helmet and the bike and everything in a different color. But they're cheap. Usually, depending on how many accessories they have, they can go up into like $30 range. Yep, Brooder, Rock Wolf. But I think this guy was about maybe $20 or so, maybe a little more than $20. Came with this bike. Up here in the corner is a little like bike stand thing that I guess you could mount to the back of your truck if you wanted to, and you could mount it on the back of your truck. So I got that guy there. This next one is awesome. I absolutely loved it. This next one we got a female driver with a helmet, life vest, a kayak. You got your paddles, and even a little water cover for the kayak. And this one was not that expensive. The kayak's a little bit long, but I guess it wouldn't look too. Yeah, it's not going to look too bad on top of like a vehicle. You could strap it down and look. I guess that looks about right. Yeah, this was not that expensive. Hey, what's up, Billy the Kid? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Haven't seen you in a little bit. So yeah, this was another one that I had on my list for a little bit that I wanted to pick up. You know, the helmet comes off her and everything, and they're pretty decently detailed faces on them. You can't really see because they're in the plastic, but so we got that one. Oh yeah, and I got two more other ones that are just bangers, guys. You're gonna love these next two. Drew makes good trailers for W. Absolutely, they do. Midnight, they do. Yeah, Brooders. Yeah, they make a lot of good accessories, guys. If you're into like the 18 scale stuff, they make some sweet accessories, very cheap. You know, this next one, I'll show you this one next. I love both these next ones so much. This one is this guy in a leather jacket, and he's got like leather gloves that come off his hands that you can take off. He's got this yellow helmet with a clear visor that opens up. You can take his helmet off, and a licensed Ducati Scrambler motorcycle. And they have 4 different variations of this that you can get, and they're all licensed Ducatis. So I had to snatch this one up. It's gonna, you know, if you know the K10 comes out revamped, this is gonna go in that. I'm gonna have this Ducati sitting in the back of the K10. This guy driving it. His gloves on the dash, his helmet in the passenger seat. Oh, cannot wait, guys! Cannot wait. So, and this was not that expensive either. I want to say it was like maybe $25 or so. Oh, there's a ton of them, Rockwolf. There are so many of them. And this last one, I cannot wait to do some videos with it. I think I'm probably going to tear apart my Glacier and put this driver in here to replace the current driver I have with this one. Because this one's a little more detailed than what I have. What I have in there right now is just some no-name one I got off eBay. That was before I learned about Brooder. Yeah, Rockwolf. I'm going to buy that Forester with the dog. I should have bought it. I had it in the cart when I bought these, but I took it out because I'd spent like $100 and some on figures, so I didn't want to go any more crazier. But I wanted to show all you guys this cool, you know, stuff that they have. This last one is great, man. It is a mechanic with a functioning jack stands, a toolbox, tools, and a little baseball cap there. So I cannot wait to do some videos with this one, because that jack could be really good for some videos like I did with that World War II figures the other day, where I did kind of like a little stop motion section in the middle, where I could be changing a tire or something like that. Yeah, Billy, that one was on my list for a while too. Now the mechanic, that one was a little bit pricier. I want to say that one was probably on the higher end of like $29, maybe $30. Yeah, Rockwolf. There is one that has a guy that I want to say it's like Rockwolf. If you could give me the price on that by chance in the chat, that'd be great. There's one that comes with a log splitter. I have the figure that comes with the log splitter, just the figure, and some other accessories that he came with separate. But you can buy the full version that it comes with the figure. He comes with a safety helmet with a pull-down visor, orange vest, chainsaw, gas can, log splitter, and it's like $40, I want to say, maybe. They have some licensed Polaris stuff. They have a hunter that with a quad and a deer, and I think a dog with him. Bruder makes some $32. Thank you very much, Rockwold. Yeah, $32 is a very good price for that one. I'm actually going to order that probably after the stream ends. So yeah, you guys definitely need to check that out. Bruder Toys on Amazon. They make some really good, you know, mid-range for detail. Not as detailed as like the figures I did in my video the other day. I mean, those were very expensive, but inside these small vehicles, you're not trying to spend. Um, you're not trying to spend a fortune on drivers, anyways. Especially when your trucks are already so expensive to begin with. Um, Motorcycles. So, oh, that is a great idea, Rock. Well, if I could do a video with the Glacier and the new K10, if it ever comes out, driving to the mechanic for some motorcycle service. I love it. I might. Bruder also has scale garages that you can get, little scale garages, a scale bike shop, a few other scale little like buildings. Yep. My girlfriend got the snowboarding figure for winter vehicles. She comes with snowboard, a helmet, gloves. I want to say one other item. Yeah, I want to say one other item. Um, hey, I'm glad Cardboard Crawlers and Billy the Kid are finally getting to talk a little bit. They're not close, but not as far as I am from both of them. uh, yeah, Billy, check out Amazon Bruder Toys. They have some nice little um, scale little like not like full garages, but it's like a wall, like or like a half wall like this or something, enough to do, yeah, really good. Yeah, the bike shop one looks great. The mountain hunt, the snowmobile, yep, yep. You could really do some great story videos with these, and if you're doing them, you can kind of get away with using the Bruder Toys in the FMS 12 scales. I tried putting one in the Land Rover Series 2, and mm, it's okay. It is a female figure though, which is a little bit smaller. Maybe a male figure might look a little bit better in there. But I think I'm going to buy an expensive figure for that. So let me. Wow, it's already been like 45 minutes. I try to keep since this is the second episode of the live stream, I'm going to just reiterate to those who haven't been here yet. These live streams are only going to be an hour to an hour and a half at most. Sorry about that, guys. Hour to an hour and a half most. I just want to get you guys the information as quickly as I can. That way, you guys can go on with your night and get on Amazon and decide if you want to buy the truck or not. Let me hit up a couple more chat things before we go over the weekly spotlight, and then we will talk about next week's episode, and then I'll say goodnight to you guys. Okay, so roll through. We got Fire Horse needs a driver. Absolutely, a Fire Horse. My Fire Horse needs a driver. One of these is probably going to go into my Fire Horse, and yeah, Cardboard. I have Billy the Kid's info. I'll give him your info, and you guys can connect to each other. Maybe you guys can meet up and get some crawling in. Yeah, my Fire Horse needs a driver desperately. I think it is the second FMS truck that I bought was the Fire Horse, and the first one was my Glacier. I had to have that K10. Boy, it took me so long to buy the Glacier. That was one of my first RC trucks that kind of, when I got back into RC, was buying the Glacier. And I held off on buying it for a long time, long time, long time. Back then, the red and white version was, I think, 179 or somewhere around that. And I wasn't enough into RC yet to. Well, I mean, I've been into RC since I was like 13, but I took a long break as life happens, and just shortly before COVID, I got back into a lot of people got into RC because of COVID. That wasn't the case with me. I got back into RC because I enjoyed taking my World War II photographs, like the video I did the other day, and it led me across some FMS scale vehicles, military vehicles, and I was like, boy, I could up my picture game with some of those scale looking vehicles and drive them too. So I bought some, and yeah, then I was hooked on it. I was hooked on it. So that was many, many, many FMS trucks ago. uh, oh, just loaded up the cart. $210 with figures, Rockwolf. I'm guessing it's easy to do, man. And those Jim, those Brooder toys will fit in a lot of WPL. They fit in the MN99 trucks really well. Um, yeah, so if any of you guys out there have MN99s or WPLs, these Brooder toys fit in them pretty well. Uh, you'll need to cut the feet spots out, like which you can catch on Jason's RC. You can catch Rockwolf, and he can tell you how to cut the WPLs out. So you don't have to put your nice figures, because sometimes I like to take them out and I like to use them for pictures with my trucks if I'm just going to do community post. Yeah, yeah, those Brooder figures can be addicting, man. You can, like I said, at one point I had, oh yeah, like 200 some dollars in my cart for just Brooder figures, and I was just like, oh my god, what am I doing? I can't spend that much on figures right now. That's ridiculous. Crawling Chris, he says, my fair RC package is 3 pounds, guessing 24 scale. 3 pounds. Nope, I'm thinking that's probably going to be an 18th scale, or maybe even a 12th scale, Chris. I'm betting you'll probably get a K10, or you might be getting a Bronx. I'll get a hold of you later tonight, Chris, and I'll look at my shipping and I'll let you know how much my Bronx weighed, and that can give you an idea of how much the 18th scales weigh. Christina, Billy from the English instructions don't help me much, and I don't find any decent videos on it. Eventually, what was her? Hang on, dang it, Jim. See him. Oh yeah, yeah. If you have kids, raid their toys. You can find some good figures. Yep, raid their toys. Yep, I'm been debating about going over to my parents' house and going up into their attic, because I know I have a whole bunch of toys from when I was a child many years ago that I could probably use in some of my RC trucks. You know, they're probably worth money now, but I'd rather have my truck look really good with an old vintage character in it. Uh, just to try looking at shop any for stuff. What was Christina's problem? I must have missed that. Oh, issues with my V2 Smasher transmitter going into binding mode. Any help? You know, I've heard other people occasionally say they've had issues with binding issues on theirs. I would first, yeah, follow these guys. Says, make sure your batteries are checked, make sure the truck's batteries are checked. Um, but I've also heard issues, which Cardboard Crawlers and I were literally just talking about this. Some of the newer FMS controllers, after, well, not even after that much use, apparently, because Cardboard Crawlers was doing that. They can cause your servos to twitch a little bit. And I noticed that if I shook my remote on my truck that had that issue, my World War II Jeep, the wheels would twitch when I would shake my remote. So I'm guessing there's a loose solder connection inside there, and it's probably just a minor. Since that is an older model, probably quality controls probably not quite as good. Yeah, she says it's going into bind mode. Yep. Yeah. Also, you can also try. turning it off, unplugging your battery, turning it on and off, letting it sit for a little bit, just to make sure it discharges any leftover power that could be in any of the circuitry, and erase any possible memory that might have been stored. Yeah, well, unless it's yeah, it should do that because it sounds like it is an ESC issue. It was on her Smasher. I do not believe those have bind plugs. It's just a bind button on the remote. Basically, it just goes into bind mode when you turn it on automatically, which means it's well. And she did check her batteries in her remote because I feel like that would be if it goes into bind mode, it would be losing signal from the remote. Yeah, if yeah, like so if you were to set your truck down and you were driving it and then you shut your remote off, it would kick into bind mode eventually. So it could be related to the remote, but I feel it's probably more related to the ESC or just needing to be rebind. Batteries are fresh. Yeah. Could possibly be just the faulty ESC. How long have you had it, Christina? But did she get it from Fair RC? Did she say? I'm sorry, chat was moving for a little bit there. Because I do know Fair RC has very good customer support. They have very good customer support. When I had issues with the Hummer, they bent over backwards to help me out. Boy, did they do everything they could to help me. So I was super appreciative of that. So worst case scenario, reach out to a little over a month. It's pretty. Yeah, I would definitely reach out to if you bought it from Pharisee or did you buy it from Amazon? Amain. Okay, reach out to Amain. Yeah, I would reach out to Amain, see what they say. Um, you know, they may just ship you a new. They may ship you a new ESC for who or give you a discount on an ESC or something like that. But that is very strange. That short of amount of time to have an issue like that. Um, FMS products are usually pretty dang good and pretty reliable. Has it been wet? I doubt she's gotten it wet in a month. Yeah. See, I don't think I've actually ever even ordered anything from Amain, but I know a lot of people do, and I know they're a reputable company, so I would think they would. Crawling Chris, he knows. Crawling Chris knows. Amain customer service is awesome. I've dealt with them a time or two. So yeah, and really the RC companies they want to help you. They want to help you with your product. Or, because if they say no, screw you, then you're not going to buy their product anymore. You know, um, I've literally only ran it twice. She said, definitely reach out to them, and if they won't help you, reach out to FMS customer support. Yep, yep. If they won't help you, reach out to FMS customer support, and I think they will. Yeah, I think they'll. Well, originally they're going to tell you to talk to who you purchased it from, and if Amain will help you, um, talk to FMS, and they may ask you. And this is where a lot of people fail on getting their stuff repaired or replaced, FMS and a lot of the RC companies are going to ask you to send them a video of what the truck is doing. And your best bet to do that is to use Google Drive, because Gmail will only allow you to send so much files. So, but that's all they want. And a lot of people won't bother with that, and they get mad and their truck sits broken. But all they want to do is just see that what your truck is doing, that it's not functioning, and then they'll work with you. Exactly, Christina. Yep. Just follow the chain of command, and you know they'll work with you. But they're going to ask you, more than likely, if it ends up going that far, they're going to ask you to send them a video of what the truck is doing, and it can literally just be a few seconds of you going like this. Your truck, your camera's pointing at your truck, and you turn it on, and you show the remote in your hand, and you squeeze the trigger with it on, and show that nothing's working, it's binding, it's messing up, and that's all they want. A couple of seconds, and they will work with you then. So, Owen Rogers and I both worked with Fair RC. That's exactly what they said. Send us a short video. We did. Boom. They worked with us. They sent us tons of parts to replace our trucks. So, all right. We're moving on here because we're getting a little bit long here. We're going to move on to the spotlight for the week. And we'll get your guys' thoughts on this. I think you guys are going to like this because a lot of you guys are going to be familiar with this. And this week's spotlight is from our very own Crawler Baller on his beautiful indoor course with his FMS K5. He really is top notch. If you guys are unfamiliar with Crawler Baller, check him out on YouTube. I think he recently created an Instagram, which is where I came across this picture. He followed me, so I realized that I wasn't following him back. He didn't have a ton of followers, so I'm assuming it's a new Instagram. But if you guys are on Instagram, look up Crawler Baller, check out his Instagram page. He's got some really cool looking pictures. He puts in the extra work. I mean, I put in work on my indoor course, but he goes the extra mile, really does. So let me see. Sorry. And thank you for the help. Greatly appreciated. No problem, Christina. Anytime. We're happy to help you guys here. That's what the community is about. Helping each other out. I love helping people out with issues, with their RCs and get them back out of the trail. Hey, Fair RC, what is going on? Thanks for stopping in. We're getting ready to actually end the stream here in just a minute, but I really appreciate you guys stopping by. So yeah, this is Crawler Baller's indoor course. Like I said, he does some awesome YouTube videos. He is a super scale guy. Tiny little figures all over his course. He goes the extra mile, puts the clouded background on his pictures and everything. His whole room has a clouded background. He's just top notch. Yeah. And I'd love to throw him some Instagram clout. So that is our spotlight truck for the week and our spotlight Instagrammer. And his Instagram is just like his YouTube. It is Crawler Baller. Just like his YouTube page is Crawler Baller. He's got lots of FMS trucks, and he's got more than FMS trucks, but you know me, I'm an FMS guy. So next week we are going to, provided my guest is feeling better, we're going to be going over the FMS LC80, what upgrades we think it needs. Hopefully I can find out if FMS gets back with me on when the trailer will be released and that driver, and if that scale stuff, the boat, and all that other stuff is going to be coming out. Hopefully I'll have the FMS t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats and stuff for you guys by next week, and we'll do a giveaway. hopefully we'll have hit 500 subs, and I'll give one of you lucky guys this Bronx that I got from Fair RC. Thank you very much. And yeah, and we'll get the opinion of my guest on what he thinks of the LC80, what upgrades he thinks it might need. You know, just the whole thing that we do here, guys. So we'll that's going to be the plan, unless he's not feeling better by next week. Then he's not feeling better by next week. I think we might do the Land Rover Series 2, maybe. Throw some super scale in there. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Yep. So, on that note, I am going to say good night to you guys here and say that I appreciate every one of you guys for stopping by and helping the channel grow. I look forward to you guys coming back next time. And hopefully we'll hit 500 before that next episode, and you'll be getting a Bronx. One of you guys is going to get a hat. Like I said, we're going to be getting some t-shirts and keychains and buttons, and I think some decals. So they're hooking me up. They're just a great company to work with. So I am gonna say good night to you guys, and I really appreciate y'all coming by. Bear RC. Hope to catch you guys next time. And I hope you guys have a good night. See you guys next Monday.